Washington County, Maryland. Shout out to Southside Community Block Party, Bester Community of Hope, and of course, all of my young adult patrons. I'm Ann, your librarian from Washington County Free Library, the Fletcher branch. And yeah, usually you see me surrounded by teenagers, young adult fiction, nonfiction, manga, and all those cool kinds of things. But today, I am here with the library's new kitchen a la carte, from which, when we are all safe and can safely open back up, we hope to hold cooking classes that focus on health, wellness, good nutrition, and financial literacy. Because we all want to eat well and spend less. So, as a librarian, I have access to all kinds of fun facts. And one fact I want to share with you today is that the third Saturday of every September of every year is Eat an Apple Day, which is wonderful because I do like apples. So today, for the Southside 21 Community Block Party and for our entire county, we are going to celebrate together Eat an Apple Day, and I'm going to cook for you apples 3 ways. Now let me tell you something about apples. There are over 7,000 different types of apples in the world. And 35 out of our 50 states actually grow apples, and we live in a state which grows some wonderful apples. And I want to give a shout out to Karen Martin at Ivy Hill Farms because she gave me the friends and family discount to get these apples to cook with you today. So today we are going to be cooking with the Rambo, and we are going to be cooking with one of my personal favorites, the Honey Crisp. And then we also have an apple. If I remember correctly, it's a Jazzy Star. Jazzy Star made me think of Carrie Fair. And what I am cooking with the Jazzy Star today is a special request from Miss Carrie Fair. So I'd never heard of this apple. Here it is, once again, one of 7,000. The only apple that is native to the United States of America is the crab apple. Yeah, we got the crab apple. Oh, okay, listen. Apples are high in fiber. It helps keep you full and clean out your system. Apples are high in vitamin C and B6 and vitamin A, and they contain calcium, which is so good for your bones. And they contain iron, which helps your blood flow. There is nothing bad about the sweet, juicy taste of an apple, and you can have apples that are tart or sweet, or you can have them soft or crispy. And the other fun fact I wanted to tell you is another one of my favorite apples, which is kind of like the Zesty Star, is the Granny Smith apple, and there really is a Granny Smith, and her name was Granny Ann Smith. That's easy to remember, right? So Granny Ann Smith lived in Australia, and she is the one that created the super tart, really good with peanut butter or honey on it, Granny Smith apple. So let's get cooking. The first thing I'm going to make for you today is called chunky applesauce. And it only has 4 ingredients. That's my kind of cooking, because you know what? I really don't like to cook all that much. But I do like to eat. I do like to eat. So 4 ingredient applesauce is my kind of thing. I'm going to turn the stove on here. Also, I'll give you a friendly reminder to wash your hands before you start cooking anything, which I have already done, and I am wearing gloves. Let's turn this on. This is a special stove top, which will not turn on unless the pot is sitting on it. So I have 12 of the Roman apples, which cost about $3 a dozen at a farmer's market. Not sure what it costs at the grocery store. So I have 12 Roman apples, but you can use Red Delicious or Golden Delicious or John de Gold or all kinds of apples. And I'm going to put in 2 1/4 cups of water. So here is 2 cups of water. Two 1/4 cups of water. Water doesn't really cost anything, except I guess if you're paying a water bill. And then we are going to put in three-fourths cup of brown sugar. Now, you can use processed sugars with apples, but if you want to stay away from processed sugars, you actually don't have to add it, but you may want to put a little bit of sweetener in that. So in my home, we have a family member who really can't do sugar, so we always use honey. Okay, fourth cup of sugar, and one of my personal favorite seasonings. We're going to put in a little half teaspoon of cinnamon. I'll find the right one. Okay, here we go. Oops, a little extra. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, now I am going to stir this up. And I know you can't see it, but it's just the apples in the water squishing around, getting the sugar. Now, if you have your apples cut up ahead of time like I did, and or you want to serve them and you want to keep them looking fresh, you can just sprinkle a little acidic lemon juice or orange juice or anything like that on your apple, and it prevents it from getting that brown coloring that comes from the air on the skin of the apple. Now, these apples were peeled, but you don't have to peel an apple, and a lot of the vitamins you get from apples come from the skin. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes. Okay, so I might check that from time to time just to make sure it's boiling because it needs to get boiling. Cleaning up after myself before I go on to the next thing, always a good practice as well. Okay, apple one way, chunky applesauce. And again, our four ingredients were water, brown sugar, cinnamon, and apples. There are a lot of things you can make with apples. I would love to hear what some of your favorite apple recipes are. You know, when I was here at the library and I was talking about the fact that I was cooking with apples, every single person I talked to said, try this, try this, try this. I like apples in yogurt. I like apples in my pancakes. I think my favorite is apples and peanut butter. But I'm sure you have some favorites too. Okay, so the next thing we're going to make, something I've never made before, barbecue chicken apple pizza. Okay, so let me get my pizza trays. Now this recipe, which comes with the Kitchen a la carte curriculum, and again the curriculum is focused on nutrition, health and wellness, financial literacy, and just the joy of sitting around the table cooking and eating together. Cannot wait to do that with you, my patrons, once the library opens back up. So the recipe called for bagel thins, which the grocery store that I went to did not have. But I found this really cool pizza parlor crust, and it was like $1. So what a deal. So I'm going to try that. Now I'm making two because the recipe calls for onions, but my colleague Abigail and I, we do not like onions. So I'm going to make one pizza with onions and one pizza without. So for the pizza, we're going to use some barbecue sauce. This is actually apple barbecue sauce, which Karen Martin at Ivy Hill Farm said I must try. And then we are going to use the Honey Crisp apples, which are very sweet, but this is kind of a sour vinegary sauce, so they'll balance each other. The onions. And here's the chicken, and I bought a rotisserie chicken because, like I told you earlier, when I have free time, it's not like I'm like, oh yay, let's cook. I'm more like, how can I make this fast, easy, still nutritious, and delicious? So I have a rotisserie chicken. I buy them at the store. Sometimes you can even get them on sale. You can usually get like 2 or 3 meals out of them. I like that. So we have some rotisserie chicken. We have the Honey Crisp apples. We have the onions, and we have the sharp cheddar cheese. You can buy cheese in blocks. Sometimes it's less expensive in blocks than shred it yourself. But for the purposes of this cooking class, I went ahead and got the already shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Now, in a million years, I would not have thought about putting sharp cheddar cheese on top of apples. But when I was in my early 20s, I lived in Minnesota, and everybody just, oh, we got an apple pie, throw on the cheddar cheese. Oh, we have an apple crisp, throw on the cheddar cheese, and you know what? It's really pretty tasty. So as with any pizza, we are going to put on the sauce. You know, pizza's kind of an interesting thing too, because everybody's got their favorite pizzas. Just like everybody has their favorite apples. I like the Red Delicious. I think I told you that already. I like the Honey Crisp. I like this kind of bitter apple called Empire, if I'm going for an apple that's not too sweet. Pizza-wise, I like a thinner crust. I don't like a lot of sauce. I don't like a sweet sauce. Some pizzas have really sweet sauce. So I'm sure we all have our favorite pizzas too. So there's some sauce. This is called apple barbecue sauce. And I'm putting on my chicken. One of them getting onions. And the apples. I had preheated my oven to 400. Looking good. The cheddar cheese. Some people like a little bit of cheese. Some people like a lot of cheese. I like a lot of cheese. Okay, now this is going to go in the oven for 5 to 7 minutes. And you know what? One thing that virtual does not contain is how delicious this smells. Can you guys smell this? I have some helpers in the room. Oh my goodness. That really smells good. So the last thing I'm going to make for you guys is called apple nachos. And again, this was specially requested by Miss Carrie Fair. Okay, so we are using the Zesty Star, which of course the apple in and of itself even makes me think of Miss Carrie Fair. And there are a lot of ways you can cut apples. So one of the ways is with this cool little nifty apple corer. So we'll use that. So we're going to peel them up. So apples are pretty easy to peel. You just, especially if you use the corer on them. We're going to cut these nice and thin, and we're going to arrange them on the tray. So while I'm getting this plate ready, we're going to take a commercial break. So I will see you back here in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. And as I told you before, we were going to be making apples 3 ways. So here we have our chunky applesauce. Tastes so good. And here we have our chicken cheddar apple pizza. And here we have our apple nachos with white chocolate, caramel, and Heath bars and pretzels. That's for you, Carrie Fair. So I invited Jake Helsch, our friendly but firm security guard here at the Fletcher branch of Washington County Free Library, to be a taste tester. So we can all be safe, I'm going to put on my mask and move to a safe, physically distanced place where Jay and I can talk as he tastes these delicious apple-based recipes. Welcome, Jay.
Hey, Ann, how are you today?
I'm good. So you like apples?
Oh, yeah, I love apples.
Do you have a favorite apple?
I really enjoy Red Delicious.
Me too, me too. You know, I will have to look it up because I would venture that that's got to be one of the most popular types of apples.
Yeah, I think so. I love them. I grew up on them.
So what you have in front of you is apples three ways. We have the applesauce with just brown sugar and cinnamon. We have the barbecue apple chicken cheddar pizza. And we have the deliciousness of the apple nachos with white chocolate and caramel. So feel free to take a taste and tell us what you think.
That's good. Wow.
Yay.
It's chunky. Really good. Thanks.
And it was very easy to make. 20 minutes. Well, if you count the peeling of the apples, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Great. Ooh, this is a little warm. Okay. Got the pizza. That's amazing. Wow.
It does taste good, doesn't it?
I mean, all those tastes all in one pizza? That's amazing. Now, what's this third dish called?
That's kind of an interesting name. It's just called apple nachos.
Apples?
Apple nachos. And you can put peanuts, honey, marshmallow, walnuts, raisins, cran raisins, like whatever your taste, whatever you like, just drizzle it on.
Oh, wow.
And those apples are called Zesty Stars. They're very tart.
Okay, let me get this little sauce you have here. Now, what is this, chocolate?
It is white chocolate to be balanced against that tart apple.
Oh, awesome. And Heat Bar?
And Heat Bar.
Oh. That's sweet and good. The apples are delicious. Thanks, I appreciate that.
Do you have a favorite one you wouldn't mind making if you got that at home?
Ooh. Let me get back to you after I eat some more. Thanks, Ms. Ann.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for being our taste tester. And I know you're like me, you're looking forward to seeing everybody when the library opens back up.
See you guys when we get back.
So once again, I want to say shout out to Southside Community Block Party, Bester Community of Hope, Washington County, Maryland, where we have delicious apples growing all around us. Everybody, eat an apple today. See you later.